I'm Shivani Gupta. I'm obsessed with small to medium businesses growing. As business owners, we take so much risk and we want to make sure it's worth it. I believe one of the best presents you can give yourself as a business owner is to be able to learn how to scale your people, your profit, and your processes. Welcome to Grow Your Business podcast. Very excited to have Elia Donati on today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about him and we're going to dive into this very interesting person. For those of you that are watching it on YouTube, you will see that he's sitting in a beautiful place with great surroundings. And when you see him drinking out of a wine glass, he tells me it's just water and lemon, as have I got my lemon drink. There it is. But he's just giving us a visual of that. And so let me tell you a little bit about Elia. He's been in the business of elevating, experiencing, and socializing with friends and family. In the 20 years of experience that he's been doing that, they have served thousands of customers. And essentially what they do is host the best intimate and private parties, either in your home or in the accommodation that you've perhaps booked. And by doing that, they help you deepen your relationships with people you love and create memories. I love that why when I read that. Elia, so welcome to the podcast. So excited to have you on today.
Oh, thank you very much for the beautiful introduction. And I'm very, very, very happy to be interviewed by you. It's an immense pleasure.
Oh, that's so great. And so tell us, 20 years of doing this business, obviously in that lots have happened in terms of what you've had to face around challenges and adversity. And I guess those things transform you into who you are today. So tell us a little bit about your top 2 or 3 things so that we've got a better understanding of you.
Yeah, so absolutely. I would say when I think about that, the first thing that comes to my mind is mindset. And I think it aligns very well with what you do as well. And it aligns very well with what I'm doing right now, right today. So I'm in this beautiful location in the middle of nowhere, chosen on purpose because I felt like I've had to do a lot of work and these past few weeks, and I just needed a recharge. I needed to be in my element. So to get to the point is you need to look after your mind, your mindset, because that's what makes you get up in the morning and look after yourself and go through your day like you designed it. Yeah, so that's very important, and that's been quite of a journey. It's made out of many parts, starting with trying to wake up a little bit earlier and trying to keep that up every day, trying to train every day, and also you gotta find what works for you. For me, martial art works very well because I get distracted and I don't think about, it's too hard or things like that. And for example, after that, I meditate as well. And one thing as well that I do is I do it before the shower. Because why? Because it allows my body to cool down normally and expel all the stuff that it wants to get rid of, and so on. And there's other aspects of my day, but the point is looking after my mind. And yeah, so I had to come to this beautiful green place because it's my element. I just feel relaxed. I feel like I can reconnect. That was a big one. And definitely dealing with something called, I believe it's called the imposter syndrome. When you start doing something that comes from your heart, you might sometimes feel like you're an imposter and all these things, and sometimes you don't even recognize that. And definitely it helps a lot to do some training and just work on that, because at the end of the day, all you're doing is what you love with your own twist, and that's it. Also, on the social media, what am I gonna post today? Or even being here at your podcast, trying, to make it amazing. Actually, I just think I just have to be me and tell you what I think and what I did. So these couple of things were probably the best things I've implemented going through business and this aspect of my life. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing, Elia. Thank you for that. And I love the fact that you said, you take time out, because when we look at chefs and running your own businesses, sometimes we just don't stop. And so the fact that not only do you talk about stopping, but as we are recording this podcast, you are taking some of that time out to be able to reconnect with yourself and reconnect with nature and
Absolutely.
what's around you is a fantastic, and a real life living example of that. And so over 20 years of doing this work, so many challenges come your way. So many challenges come around growth, around people, around customers, like all the business challenges, but also personal challenges. I'm always curious, Elia, is there a way that you go about dealing with it? Do you have a way or a process or a system or a philosophy? How do you go about dealing with challenges? How do you prepare yourself to work through that?
Yeah, so this one comes from probably the most amazing book I've ever read in my life, and it's called Who, Not How, and basically gives you the idea that automatically when we are in front of a challenge, we think, oh, how am I gonna fix this now? What am I gonna do? But if you switch and you start thinking, who can help me with this? Um, it changes the game. It changes everything, because there's always someone that can help you with something, because also it could be something that you have no idea of. Like, you ask me about cooking, we can stay on this call for hours. But you ask me about um, how to run a successful Facebook campaign, uh, I don't know, log into Facebook and follow the prompts. That's all I know. So that's it, that's one little challenge. Just you need to find someone that, has spent the same amount of time I have spent cooking steaks and food, but doing the ads, and can do it for you so well. And and uh, and this with everything else, with staff, there's always someone that can help you. And this works in reverse as well, because the interesting thing is, you have to find your who that can help you with something, but you also need to be a who for somebody else. And that's where it comes in, the real deep why of being a personal chef and doing what I do. And I do it in so many forms, in very different forms, not just the personal chef, but the core point, the real reason is because it reminds me of the time when I was sitting at the table with my family, and enjoying this beautiful vibe, the smell of the food, food on the table, sitting down and being together, sharing things, asking questions, and eating well, looking after that part of you. And some people need a who for that, need somebody to cook well for them. They might not be able to do it as well. They might not have time to do that, but they want to look after that part of their life and their family. So I'm happy to be that who for these other people. This is I think, my best mechanism to coping with challenges. But mentally, sometimes challenges really throw you off, and you need something more in a personal sphere. So a really good partner that is aligned with you, and with your values, with how you are wired, and a really good circle of friends and influence, because they are influencing your life. So those things are really, really important, because you get to speak to other people, you get to just a back and forth, continuous back and forth of information. And this is why we're different from animal. Maybe they talk, maybe they don't, but we're definitely able to share so much more information between us. And so, yeah, definitely that helps a lot. Hopefully, this was what you were after with your question.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love when we have guests on and, people just share their parts of themselves on the podcast. Really, that's what it's really about. And when you look at the future, Elia, like what are the future aspirations, whether it's 1 year, 3 year, 10 years, what are some of the future aspirations where you want to take the business and your life, and what are some of the things that you're looking forward to from a future aspirations perspective?
Yeah, absolutely. So, from my family, I got a lot of love, all the love I could imagine, and from my partner as well, and I keep on getting it. But we never were um, rich or very, very wealthy, and probably there's a part of me that, wants to, you know, uh, buy a nice car or something like that, and that's surely something that I like to do, but in a more uh, how you call it, different manner. Um, what I want to take it is a deeper level. That's what I'm trying to say is, um, I just want to be able to help people that are around me. So, which will be definitely my future family and also my present one, because they give me a lot of love and everything, but they didn't get a chance to come to Australia like I did and live in this beautiful country. And I see them struggling still, and they're not getting any younger. And I just want to give something back, and being able to support and make sure we all share something nice, and which doesn't have to be a yacht, there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm not saying has to be that. Even just the fact that I can pay for them to come to see me once again every year, instead of waiting 2, 3 years to see them, or things like that, being more together, or being able to be there more often, these sort of things. And yeah, definitely make the most out of the fact that the lifestyle that you can achieve in this country, I think it's very high, it's very beautiful. You've got a lot of potential.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Elia, some people love philosophies, or, there's lots of leadership book written. Are there any philosophies or leadership principles you like to run the way you live and what you do?
Yeah, so um, I I've always felt like I was a bit of a leader, and this thought has changed greatly throughout the years. And lately, I've been, I think, probably nailing it a little bit more. And the change was when I realized um, people that don't just do what you say because they do it because it's aligned with so many things, with doing right things, with what's right by you and by them and by the business. And so I I just really, I feel like I'm a leader when people, without asking, they say, one of my employees said once, "I'm very proud of working with you." I didn't even ask her anything or a feedback or anything, but Then I asked her to specify, and she said, "Yeah, I feel like you listen to me, you help me when there's a challenge, also in my personal life, eh, and you don't make me feel like I am a number in your company. I just have to wake up, do things for you because I'm getting paid. It's not." Um, the right word is not transitional. There's a bit more to it, and that also I guess goes a long way with keeping your staff in a very healthy work environment. That's for sure.
Thank you, Elia. And when you're cooking and you're preparing things for other people, you have your own rituals in terms of how you prepare different types of food and how you serve that and what experiences you want people to have. What about in your own life? Like, what do you do for your own wellness? What rituals do you have for your own wellness, for your own mental health? Seeing that that's such a big issue for us running and growing our businesses is also to look after ourselves. And I know that obviously you're in these beautiful surroundings for now. I can see that you're doing some things for your well-being. But what are some of the rituals that you have, whether you do them daily, weekly, yearly? Tell us about them.
Yeah, so like it or not, we've got different spheres that we need to take care of in our life. Not gonna go through all of them, but we gotta have fun, we gotta be wealthy, and you define what wealthy is for you. We gotta be well, and so on. So you've gotta look after all these parts. Love is another one, for example. You gotta look after them because it's like a wheel, and if there's a missing part, the wheel sort of um, doesn't rotate properly. And so to look after that, my suggestion is to start very simple from one thing, getting one thing right and build on it. I always when I explain this to people, to my employees, I always say Formula One Ferrari car. Sorry, I'm a bit biased, but it wasn't built like the one you saw last year in the circuit, like that 50, 100 years ago, was built and then was tweaked and changed and made better and better and better. 1 year from the other, maybe they just changed 5 screws. You never know. And this is what it is. Just start with something small, simple, like wake up a little bit earlier and get active, something like that. But if you ask me, I get up. For me, my sweet spot is around 6:30, and then I need to get active. I do some light gym activity, and then I come back. Like I said earlier, I do my quick 10 15 minutes meditation while my body goes back to normal temperature. Then I have a shower and I'm so ready for work. I'm super ready, activated and everything. And then I do my work. Around midday, I train again martial arts, and that is so important for your mind. It's I didn't know at the beginning, but it just keeps you straight because I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and one of the best quotes they have is "You never lose. You either win or you learn," which is, I think, it sums up everything. And it's amazing. Sometimes you go there and you're super pumped and you get destroyed. Sometimes you go there and like, oh, today is, and and you get really good results. And at the end, you feel awesome. And sometimes you don't get much, but you know what? You showed up. You went. You did it. And it didn't stay home lazing around, and that gives me a way to recharge again. And another very important thing of my day is lunch needs to be very light for me. And I find, again, for myself, carbs don't work very well and for lunch. And so I consume a lot of vegetables, little meat, vegetables and legumes. That lets me go straight to work. I don't need to wait. I don't need to have a little nap or anything. I'm able to go back to work and focused again. Also, lemon, ginger, citrus, what do you call it? Citrus, like acidic apples, like the green ones, and oranges, all these citrus fruits. You blend them together and you have a boost shot, and that helps you as well. And then I work up until I need to, depending on the day. If I have a dinner to get to, I work a little bit less hours, and then I go and do my dinner. Otherwise, I work until late afternoon. But then when I stop, because one thing I learned about meditating is being present in the moment. So if you decide you stop, you stop. So if I'm with Laura, my partner, watching Netflix, or I don't know, just chatting, I don't want to be on my phone. I don't want to be somewhere else. If I've got something that I need to fix, I gotta fix it so then I can be there. And I think that's very important, very, very important, to just be present and just enjoy the fact you are able to sit and chat with somebody, and just that, as simple as it gets.
I love the fact that it's almost like you've done all these trials and errors and come up with a list of, this doesn't suit me, this suits me really well, this is really
Yes.
me. And you've kind of worked out your own biohacks in terms of what works for you, which is great for the listeners. Particularly I think as business owners and entrepreneurs, we are constantly trying to grow our business, but sometimes not spend that time doing what we want to do. And Elia, I believe that you've got something for us today. What's the best way for people to access your offer today, and also what's the best way to people to find you if they want to book you for events and different? So tell us about what's the best places to find you, which platforms, how we do that, and tell us a bit about the offer.
Yeah, so we've made a special offer because we wanted to celebrate the fact that I was finally able to be here with you, also talking about being present. It's such a pleasure. And so we put it on our link in a Instagram bio. You click on there, and there's another link called Ask Shivani. You can put your details in there, and we will take care of everything else. If it's work related, if it's something about chefing, if you have any questions about what I said, or want to go deeper, or want to ask me how I did it, or why, or anything else, just even a DM on Instagram. I'm very happy to, have a chat and help anyone with the process. So yeah, Instagram has got everything in there. There's the website link. We've got 300 plus amazing people who helped us build amazing reviews on Google. So we've got that as well. And obviously we've got LinkedIn, TikTok, and so many other things. And so we help people in many ways. The most out there is the personal chef thing. So that means that we do a party for you for your birthday or something, and we come in and we do everything from the groceries to serving you, to giving you an experience, to coming around the table, explaining about the ingredients, why we get those, why and how, and then cleaning up at the end as well. We can do a bar. We have entertainment options as well. We also help families cook on a weekly basis. So we're more present, less fancy, less party-ish. and that's also an amazing way, because you get to help people. I get to be a who for somebody who needs help, cooking for their family and their loved ones. And yes, we've got so many ways, and you can see them all on our website, or ask for any information you want.
That's fantastic. We'll also put that in the notes. Elia, it has been such a pleasure having you on today. I hope you really enjoy. Stay back for a couple of minutes and we'll have a chat. But so wonderful to have you on today. Enjoy the rest of your little mini retreat and some time to yourself, and really enjoyed chatting to you, and really look forward to at some point coming and tasting some of your beautiful food. Thank you for being on today. I'm Shivani Gupta, and you've been listening to the Grow Your Business podcast. I hope you got one idea that you can think about or perhaps even implement straight away in your business. Thank you for listening. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn under Ask Shivani. Remember, I call it Ask Shivani, so please send me your questions that I can address in this podcast for you. And I would also so appreciate if you went to the Apple Podcast to rate and review this podcast.